Okay, I'm going to talk about the PowerPoint drawing, but I'm just wanted to show you first this one. So you have your send 7400. So you know these are inputs, your 1A, 1B, and 1Y is your output, and VCC is your power, the high voltage, and ground is your zero. I believe these are the pins. This is 1, this is 2, this is 3, this is 7, and this is pin 14. So you will have two switches, you have one resistor and one LED. So you first need to, well, you did this already, but you need to draw this much nicer for the layout. So you have your chip here. So looks like these are your inputs, so you would want to put your switches here somewhere, and then you have your output, which is again in this side, but you don't necessarily have to use that side. You can almost come like this to make your LED and your resistor to connect. So this will be your ground. So first make your circuit look relatively nicer, and once you're sure, then you need to know how much space you need to leave for your resistor, for your LED, for all your components. You can either look at the data sheet. Data sheet would probably tell you how close they need to be, as particular these pins, but you can also measure it. So for resistor, what I would do if I have a resistor, so this is how it looks. What we usually do, we bend them and then these are areas would go under the board, and then you would solder it and cut these parts so it is close enough to the board. So this distance is not really so critical, but it has to be a little bit larger than this one. So you can try with a few resistors. So I would do it from here and here. So just measure it this way. For LED, you cannot really open them too much, so I would try to do it relatively close, but you can also do it this way if need be. So this is once you're sure your distances. So what I would like to see today is that you drew this nicely, and you know the distances, so you don't have the chip there, so you will have some lines coming from there going to perhaps other lines. So you need to know how wide this line should be. So make all these connections and specify your dimensions. Let's say this is 1 millimeter, and if this is 1 millimeter, how wide of a copper you need to use. Maybe you can make it 1 millimeter, maybe it has to be less. I wouldn't go less than 1 millimeter, but we'll see. So once you're done with this, then you can go to your PowerPoint. So I'm gonna open a PowerPoint here. I usually don't like when I draw things, I don't necessarily like the click to add title pieces, so I do Control A and delete. So you see the drawing tool here. So all we will do is rectangle. It shows a rectangle, and put a rectangle here. So there are a few things you need to do with this rectangle. So I usually do like double click instead of going to menu. So I mean right click, so I click right click, go to format shape. So I do want to have a solid fill inside, so this is gonna be my copper. Let's choose black. But when I go to line color, I do not want a line because we're gonna make this rectangle much smaller. So when we make it much smaller, then those lines outside is gonna contribute to that, and we don't want that. So now we have a nice rectangle, and I can go to now format and change the dimensions here. So let's say I want to make these are now centimeters. I want to make a 10 millimeter long, which is 1 centimeter. I mean, let's say 0.1 centimeter, which is 1 millimeter, and let's say this is gonna be 1 centimeter, which is 10 millimeter. So I can zoom from here and just move the screen so I can see it. So now I have a 1 millimeter height or width and 10 millimeter long. So let's say I would like to make it longer. You can either do it from here, you can change this, or you can literally pull it. But when you pull it, as you see, it also changes the dimensions, so you just need to be careful on that. See, it made it 1.3 millimeters, so I can just click this and make it 0.1. And let's keep this 30 millimeter. So let's say I want to put another one. I basically I select this, I press Ctrl C and then Ctrl V. So copy and paste. So I can either bring it, like if I put it like this, see the like dashed line, that means it's centered there. So I can put it here. So now I have two lines. If you want to make sure that there is a particular spacing in between, what I usually do, I draw another rectangle as big as that space. Let's say I want to have a space of this much, so I can put this thing here, and I can copy one more, Ctrl C, Ctrl V, and put it here. As you see, it also crosses, so that means it's right there, so I don't have to go close to it to see if they're touching each other. So now there are three of them. If I choose in between and delete, now I know the spacing is right, just right. So this is how we're gonna start drawing. And don't forget to save your PowerPoint file. If you wanna make, let's say you wanna go like this, like L shape, you can again Ctrl C, Ctrl V, then go to your format and see the rotate here. You can rotate right. Well, right and left is not gonna make any difference for this one. And now you have your structure. You can again see I'm pulling it and it already snaps there, so I can come either like this, like at the edge, or on the other edge, doesn't matter. So now I have a nice corner here. So it would be probably beneficial for you to know like these distances, but once you start putting them, it'll be just fine. So let's see if this video is gonna help you.